definitely going to be speaking with people that are doing exceptionally well for themselves within their careers, and also nagabantu who are actually in the music industry and also behind the scenes of the music industry. And also we're going to be talking to a PR manager, so please make sure that you guys are definitely sticking around for that. And yes, elam igama, it is Uzinhle Ngeza Dizantata from this minute of 3:30 until the last one, which will be 4:30, serving you all the goodness and also what you need to know about. And this idea too. And also what is nice is that we are still running our competitions whereby we get to give you guys a matikiti to go and watch the Cricket 20. So all you have to do is to just engage with us on social media platforms, and you could be our next lucky winners. The two ladies that went out this past Sunday had the best time of their life. So who could it be next? It's definitely you. Let us get on to the show and start off. Let's go. Beautiful people, welcome back. I had promised you Banza Kentita Nabantu who are in the creative industry and people who have the ear for music. And right now on the grey couch, I'm definitely sitting next to Udlanga Mandla. He was like, you know what? Don't call me by my ID name. Call me Udlanga Mandla. Well, everyone at home, please let us welcome him right here on the Hangout. Welcome, Puti Kunjani.
Hi, sis. Njani?
Ndiyaphila nami zininzi nje izinto, but besides that, I want to get to you and get to know you for people at home who actually don't know you, or abanye babekhe bava ngawe but didn't really get uba ungubani wena. Let's get to talk about who you are and what is it that you're doing.
So ngudlanga amandla mna. Uzulu mfingo mqhenge.
Yeah.
Wasebhayi. And yeah, I'm a musician, an artist, a rapper, a trumpet player, and in terms of e-profession, I'm a qualified sound engineer. So that is me in 2 sentences.
Lovely stuff, man. And also you are a rapper, a musician. Let's get on to that before we even get into the sound engineering, because I believe that the creativity, which is music and being a rapper, were influenced you to go into the direction of sound engineering.
Correct.
Right.
So to be honest, I think when my music journey started from when I was younger. Kwase primary, I started doing classical music. I was playing an instrument called the euphonium, but it's not that popular. I started doing that. I was classically trained. I went to high school, continued with it, and I really I had a passion for it. I had I had a drive for it. And as long as I continued going with it. I went to go study sound engineering, and that's when I started really producing and writing. And then I decided, you know what is my form of expression outside of just writing? And that's where then rap came into it. And that's when I started rapping. Been say high school, I say primary. So I kind of tried to merge those two worlds together, singing, rapping, and then obviously instrument.
Lovely stuff, man. You have the background of instruments and you're like, you know what, I want to infuse it with rap. Let's get to talk about you and making sure that both elements come together and they represent who you are, and you just represent yourself.
I try my best to do so. Even in terms of E-style Sam Sokpala, I think it's very much what I hold close to my heart, my stories. So I really try and make it as authentic as possible. Hence also the instrument, because there aren't many rappers who really play instruments at the same time while performing. But that's something that I think is, I can say, my superpower. Is I'm a multidisciplinary artist. And that's what I bring to the industry. And when you come to my show, this is what I do. I perform and I play my instruments and I sing a bit as well.
Lovely stuff, man. Talking about performances, we do know that most people love writing. Most people fear stage and they get stage fright. Let's get to talk about you and having courage to be able to write your own material and still presenting it to the public.
So in terms of having the courage, I think that's where it starts. You have to. I think we all start out erumini zethu sibhale, and you kind of maybe you'll go to siswako or ichomi yako, and you kind of just try and recite what you've written.
Yeah.
Most of the time, it sucks eqaleni. But I think with just perseverance and just maybe one or two people who going, actually, Nendo man, continue. You kind of continue doing that. Exactly the same as being on stage. I think yafana when you sing those lyrics
lines,
or
yeah.
erumini yakho,
Yes.
you then have the courage to then go to again usiswako and ichomi yakho, and they go, oh, this is dope, man. This is really nice. Like I like that. And then you start to take those little steps. So it's baby steps. We all kind of start at the same place. And then it just goes to the stage.
Goes to the stage.
And when you're on the stage, I think you just feel alive. I think a lot of artists will say so. And it's just exciting to share your passion in a different format with Abandu and not just recording in studio and then delivering
Being
the
by
material.
yourself.
Exactly.
Lovely stuff, man. And also, as much as Ungwalape Gqeberha, you are from the Eastern Cape, you had taken time to go to Johannesburg and get to learn more about culture and also how you got to found yourself. So let's get to talk about you being on that side and seeing, wow, you know what? Okay, this is Udlangamandla that I want to be. I am influenced by this many cultures. There's this lot of noise that is happening within the scene of creativity. But you took courage to be like, you know what, I'm gonna come back home and I'm still going to do my thing ekhaya besides the noise at Johannesburg. Let's get to talk about that transition and how did you welcome it when as an artist, and also how have Abantu Bakwelicala welcomed you?
So I think we are doing 2023, and Joburg was wonderful. I think it opened my eyes. I learned a lot when I was there, just in terms of the business aspect of things, and to be honest, just the hustle of things. I think there's a different level of ambition. I think maybe because the opportunities are that side as well, so it's very easy to have things at your disposal.
Everyone is putting themselves out.
Everyone is putting themselves out there. So if you don't, la pressure, but my real reason just to come back was, I think things have changed. I think as much as the industry, Alapa, Eastern Cape, is and we're trying to really develop it so that it can compete with the likes of Durban and Joburg. I think there's a lot of room for growth. I think that with the rise of the internet and TikTok and Instagram, a lot of artists are being discovered and are really just breaking through the internet. So the grind is on the internet. The grind isn't necessarily where you are at. Yes, you can build a fan base yako apha ekhaya and have abantu bakho to go, yo ngidla ngamandla lo. Xa uza performer ndikhona, he's there, I can touch him, I can see him, easily. But the internet allows us access to the whole world. So it doesn't matter where you are, if you're an artist, it just depends on
and how much work are you putting onto it.
Exactly.
And man, we're definitely going to be coming back and also more about umsebenzi wakho and also get to know you a little bit more. Everyone at home, that is Udlangamandla right here on the Hangout. But kitinage is we're going to take you guys to a short quick ad break and then we'll be right back. So please make sure that you guys definitely stay tuned Nati Upper on channel 260. Make sure you don't change that dial. We'll be right back after this. Beautiful people, welcome back from the ad break. I hope you guys managed ma nikaniti sip amanzi enu because nam dikenda alfumana enotrikana. Well, right now what we're going to do is we're going to still talk to Udlangamandla and hear more about his choice of career and also how does he get to manage being a sound engineer upper Epondweni and still be making and also still having partnerships with the brands that he's partnering with. Are you still good onto the show?
Still good, so
Lovely stuff. Well, jumping straight onto it, you are also a sound engineer. You've got that title right under your belt. Let's get to talk about that and also take us back to your training and how did you get to hear about get to decide but this is sound engineering. This is what I actually want to incorporate on my creativity.
Okay, so taking you guys back. Before that, after high school, the end, I found to become a lawyer. And then I made the transition after law to then go and study sound engineering. Sound engineering because I already had a bit of a classical background in terms of music-wise. I had my grade 7 in terms of performance and my grade 5 in theory.
Yeah.
So in terms of e-basis, I felt like I was okay. But what I didn't know how to do was how to produce and how to make vocals sound right. And I think sound engineering also has quite a large scope in terms of what you can do. I know abantu abaninzi just think it's got to do with music, but it's not. It's like recording, and not just recording abantu abaculayo. It's recording podcasts. It's recording, mixing and mastering just vocals in terms of, let's say there is a movie and you want to overlay effects and sound effects, and so it's a lot to it. So I thought, you know what, let me do that just to give myself land, or and find my feet in the space of creativity. And that's why I decided to go with sound engineering. But obviously, as I've already said, I was like, hey, the music just keeps grabbing me. So
Yeah.
Damba night.
Man, for me, you did a transition from wanting to be a lawyer to being a sound engineer. I want to take it back home as to when you set them down and told them, but you know what? Yes, I chose law, but you know what I want to do actually as sound engineer. How did abazali take it? And also, mhlambi ungakunike advice to a young one that is out there that wants to take a career that might impress abazali, but still they feel like, you know what, the creative side is calling me and I want to transition into that.
Okay, so I think it's, well, let me take it to me first. It was tough. La transition I call Lula, because I think sometimes Abbas a little bit to have an expectation of us. But I think for me, what made it a bit easier is I had shown signs of being a creative and excelling within my instrument and classical music and stuff for a long time. Like I said, ndikale primary. So I think it didn't come as a real shock to them. It was like, oh, okay, sayas ba isuka phile into lena. It was like, okay, this is making sense. It wasn't like a complete U-turn in terms of who I am as a person. Maybe it was a U-turn in terms of what I was studying, but not who I was as a person. And then to the second question that you asked me, any advice for abanye abantwana who are out there who are thinking of a transition or going to high school and aren't really sure? I think, number one, be honest with yourself. Know what you're good at. And once you've made that decision, be true to yourself and work extremely hard, because they always say, oh, the entertainment industry is hard or being a creative is hard. 100% about talk. But everything has its challenges. It just takes a lot of hard work and discipline. And you know what, I'm going to do this thing and I'm going to do it to the best of my ability and I'm going to commit to it. Because I think a lot of people think that when you go into the creative industry, it's you do one thing, two things,
and then
you blossom and you're this person, and it's not like that. I think it takes a lot of hard work and fine-tuning your craft and getting to a stage where you feel like you're good, and other people are like, okay, they trust you, and you have built yourself up to be this person. So it does take some time, but perseverance is key.
Lovely stuff, man. You are also someone who's running a company which caters for sound services, your voiceovers, your voice acting, and producing, as you had mentioned earlier on. Let's get to talk about business side of sound engineering and producing. Let's just give us tips as to how can we try to maneuver that, and also in terms of understanding it, because we do understand that the music business is quite difficult to understand the craft and the business side. For most people, they don't have, or they lack to to give their all on the business side. They rather focus onto the creativity. Let's get to talk about you and maneuvering both ends.
Very difficult. I go Lula because at there'll come a time where you kind of have to choose.
Yeah.
And that's really the hardest bit is you know that you need to practice or you need to, there's a show that you want to put on or whatever, but at the same time there's a client that there's a deadline that you have to submit to. And that is tough, but you do the things that sometimes you don't want to do to eventually do the things that you want to do. And that's where, I find myself. But ngelaga mna, I enjoy both. Of course, for me, my passion is the music and being an artist and being on stage, writing, producing. But yeah, I put it into one thing somehow. Which is a very big blessing. In terms of like navigating that space. We're still navigating it. We're still finding our feet in terms of finding that balance. But yeah, as I said, I look at it more as a blessing.
Lovely stuff, man. And also talking under your business, what are those main services that you actually get to cater for the public so that if they also have events whereby they're going to need a voiceover, they're going to need someone who's going to help master a sound able to perfection. What are those services that you give out?
So the studio is called Bob Studios, Bay of Plenty Studios. And our services that we render are mixing, mastering, producing, voiceovers, final mixing in terms of adverts or TV. If like we have a roster of voiceover artists, if people want to come and look for these services, like you have an advert, you're looking for an artist, a voiceover artist, you come to us and we'll say, fine, we'll source an artist for you. A voiceover artist specifically. And of course we work with artists. So artists are like by who are looking for a place, looking for a like, okay, I have an artist tonight, let talent, but I'm not really sure how to fine tune it. If we see that you have a talent and you've got something, we bring you closer, we bring you in and we go, okay, let's work. Let's try and get you to a certain place in terms of your songwriting or in terms of your actual ability to perform in studio. Because performing on stage is different to performing in studio. Getting comfortable with the mic, your diction, your delivery on the mic, those are things that we do. So yeah, Bob Studios is the name of the studio.
Lovely stuff, man. But now I want to get onto Indaba that is mostly overlooked, right?
Sure.
You might say I'm throwing you under the bus.
Masi.
But there is a thing, especially it's trending on socials, whereby most people feel like producers are taking credits for artists while their only business was just to press buttons. Let's get to talk about that and also how you get to feel uba producers are actually overlooked and people don't appreciate umsebenzi eniwenzayo.
Yeah, I think back in the day producers were overlooked. I think changing work, especially in South Africa with our genres now like igqom and I mean we're a dance music culture country, So with things like piano, the main song, the main name on the song is a producer. So those things in terms of being overlooked, luckily. But back in the day, it was tough. It was a point of contention. And yeah, I think in terms of abantu who take credit for things that they don't do, I think it's unfortunate. I think you find those things in almost every single field. And in many businesses, specifically in terms of business and music, it's the music business, So of course you're gonna find people who are trying to take advantage of people and are gonna take credit for izindo that they didn't do. I think to combat izindo, you need to know in terms of paperwork what you're doing. So stuff like split sheets, studio and you've done a song. We all know how much you've done. Maybe the producer's done something and maybe there are 3 vocalists. You go, okay, guys, let's split the song 4 ways. Or you come to a decision into an agreement okay, so so it's about knowing the industry. It's about, you can go on YouTube, it's there. I think back in the day, bekunzima. but the information is out there. It's just about now you and us going out there and saying, okay, Tinalombuzo man, maybe there aren't people around me who have the answer, but just type it on Google and type it on YouTube. I promise you, it's man.
The answer is going to pop
It's
up.
gonna pop up. It's just uyifuna kangakanani wena.
Lovely stuff, man. And also, before I let you go, where can people get to stream umculo wakho? Where can people get to communicate with you if they want to bring some of their unfinished projects so that mhlambe ungazipolisha here and there? And also, social media, where can people get to follow you?
So for Bob Studios, everywhere on Facebook, on Instagram and Twitter, it's at Bob Studios _. And then for me personally, Udlanga Mandla, on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, it's at Kwadlanga Mandla _.
Lovely stuff, man. Thank you so much for taking your time and coming and joining us right here on the Hangout. We truly appreciate it. And maybe, guys, for the future, what we can do is get a tour to go and check out his place of work. But that is also a discussion that is open. And what I am going to do right now is I'm going to take you guys to a quick short ad break, but please make sure that you definitely do not lose us. If we ask Kumbula, you can just simply catch us on social media. It is at Mpumakapa TV, and also our WhatsApp line, it is 083 690 0530. Okangoku, maskasibesi yothengisa. Beautiful people, welcome to another exciting episode of the Hangout. And yes, Kaloku, Kulena is Ingaba. We are going to be talking with Usiki. And Gainaka, she is the founder of Amplified PR Agency, and she basically caters for all things online, and it's definitely going to be a beautiful conversation. And I hope you guys who are interested into becoming head of your own PR agencies, you're definitely going to take tips onto the conversation. And everyone at home, please let us welcome Siki right here on the Hangout. Welcome, Sisi. How are you?
Hello, thank you so much for having me on the Hangout. I'm doing very well. How are you today?
I'm doing good, man. And also, I want us to jump straight into it and also get to know who you are and also this industry as to when did you start getting into it, or when did you start feeling that spark within your belly? But this is what I want to do.
Yeah. So my journey has been an evolution of the things that I love. So I started off firstly as a fashion blogger. So you can say I was a media platform, writing about my style, writing about other brands that are in fashion. And then that slowly evolved in working with other PR agencies. So I interned at advertising agencies, at award-winning advertising agencies. And then that's where I honed my skill in the PR and advertising space. And then eventually, later on in 2018, I started my own agency, which is now Amplified PR. And I am on a mission to just amplify brands and build favorable reputations for brands.
Lovely stuff, man. You are working with brands. Let's get to talk about having to take someone as a raw brand and trying to shape them to be the brand that they want to be for the future. Let's get to talk about that process, and also how do you manage to make sure that as much as you are shaping this brand, but you're also not losing its essence, and also you're not losing the main personality, the main character, and the main itch of that brand.
Yeah, so there is power, like you say, there's power in storytelling and also telling the founder's story. So whatever that you're doing as a personal brand or as a small business owner, it's so important to talk about your journey because so many people relate to that. And then using the right relevant platforms where your target audience wants to see you. So I always say that the lower hanging fruit is your social media platforms, ensuring that your profile picture is the one, what you say online is the right thing. And if you want to grow, just having a way of having key messaging around who you are as a brand. So it is an evolution. It's not an overnight success. What you need to set down is, what is your target audience? What is your objective? Do you want to inform? Do you want to tell people about the work that you do? And then which relevant platforms can we meet that target audience in order for you to tell that story? So we carefully curate those stories, as you've mentioned, and we start from the beginning, and as simple as writing your social media bio on Instagram, on Twitter, whichever media platform that you use. And then we progress, and then we find relevant media platforms for you to tell your story.
Lovely stuff, man. I feel like you're talking straight to me. I'm taking so many points from what you just gave us. But also coming back to Amplified, your business is called Amplified PR Agency. Let's get to talk about the highlights ever since you started the business. What were the main highlights for you?
I think the biggest highlight is being able to afford myself the life that I was always looking for, which was location freedom, financial freedom, and also time freedom. I get to work in the hours that I want to work in. Yes, when you have a small business, it's not easy, but when it is your own personal thing, you give it your 100%, you give it your all, but you get that flexibility to also have tools down day and be like, I'm going to spend time with my family today. So that's been my greatest achievement, getting that freedom, and then also securing some big clients in my stable, and working and seeing the evolution of the smaller brands that we work with, seeing that you've started with a brand when it was still a startup, but now you see how much it is growing and progressing and securing funding for itself, working capital, getting angel investors. So it's so beautiful to see those journey from the clients that have walked in the door at Amplified PR.
Lovely stuff, man. And also, you're someone who is very advocate when it comes to women and making sure that they make their own money. Let's get to talk about the industry that you are within, and also how favoriting is it towards the female people, and also how have you managed to maneuver your way to be at the top that you are at today?
Well, given my experience and always engaging with young women, with women in different industries, is that we have a lot of barriers when we walk into these rooms, when we walk into these boardrooms, and whatever industry, be it tech, engineering, media, digital marketing, it can be a boys' club. So what I've found is that when we come together, there's power in coming together, but there's also power in us sharing, having a sharing community. The most simplest information that we share with each other really helps us to elevate us to be able to negotiate those rates, negotiate our salaries when we walk into these spaces. So I've been a great advocate for women to just baziphandele, and get it for themselves and be independent. So I teach digital marketing skills, and I also share opportunities and access to information where women can get funding or opportunities where they can upskill themselves.
Stuff, man. And also, I want to know from you, with in terms of marketing, having to market yourself out of a market earnings, because I might be in the television presenting industry, but there are so many other presenters that are out there. How do I actually get to market myself and put myself aside from the rest and make sure that my niche still stands out for me?
Firstly, your social capital is the important one. Your network is your net worth. You need to build really meaningful relationships with people that you meet. I say this because Word of mouth is the most viral marketing. The last campaign that you worked on, the last TV screen that you found yourself on, it will propel you to the next thing. So you need to be as good as your previous project, if not better, and better yourself all the time. Because we need to understand that there are people behind these television shows as a TV presenter trying to get to the next level. There's people behind brands also. So you need to get to know the who's and who's of the brands, the brand managers, the marketing managers, the producers for the TV shows, the directors, because we all want to work with people that we like. So your human engagement is so important before anything else.
Lovely stuff, man. And also, before we part away, I just want to hear from you words of advice, especially to the youth that wants to get into the PR industry, and also for people to be able to reach you guys on social media. How can they get to do that?
Okay, so I've got a mouthful. I hope you have time. The message to the youth is that consistency is so important to encourage your success. No matter what you are working on, do not give up. And then also, perfection is a moving target. It will never be perfect. Just put it out there because someone is watching what you're doing. Put yourself out there and put your work out there, and you will refine it as the time goes. But do not be afraid to put your work out there for public scrutiny so that you can refine it. And lastly, you are not your mistakes. The mistakes that you've made in the past, I don't care whatever it is, you are given every single day for a new opportunity, a new page in your life. Do not live in the remorse or shame of the mistakes that you've had. And then the social media platforms that you can find me, we are everywhere on the internet. Amplified PR, if you Google it, you will find it. It's a PR agency. And then also myself, Sikim Suseni. I'm on Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, everywhere. TikTok, you will find me. And to anyone who really wants to start a business, it's just a matter of starting. Perfection will find you along the way.
Lovely stuff, man. I like that last line from you. And yes, that was Usikim Suseni right here on the Hangout. And Kenake, she has the Amplified PR agency. And she's lovely, man. I hope you guys took notes there. But what we're going to do, Tinangoko, is we're going to take you guys to a short, quick ad break. Please make sure that you do not leave us, because when we're coming back, we're still coming back with more. You don't want to miss it. Stay tuned. Beautiful people, welcome back from that ad break. And yes, I hope you guys are still with us, because nathi sisenani. And yes, which is the Gig Guide, whereby we get to tell you as to who to look out for, where to look out for, and where to go to. So we're starting it off with Coffee Kabeja and Kenako Coffee every Tuesdays from 6 p.m. They have their own special game night over there. So please make sure that you guys definitely check that out. So it's ranging from dominoes to chess to many other exciting games that you guys can get to play. And also on February, starting from the 1st of March, there will be the Nelson Mandela Bay Arts Festival, and Kenake Uleja Musia Uzabe Epayana and the double ticket stands, and there's also a matikiti for 100 rand. So please make sure that you guys definitely check that out. And also on the 22nd of February until the 22nd of March, Amatongo Agdala will be happening in the Nelson Mandela Bay Arts Festival as well. And yeah, man, it's definitely a nice festival, especially for Abantu Balapa. in Nelson Mandela okanye mandithi eGqeberha and surroundings, and also on the 22nd of February to the 2nd of March, the Nelson Mandela Bay Arts Festival OGPZO TV Content Creation Convention will be happening there at the festival. So please make sure that you guys definitely come out in numbers and you don't miss that one. And also still on the 22nd of February, kusenjalo at Mendy Arts Center, still the Mbaf festival is still going to be happening, and also on the 1st of March at the Little Theatre at Kenake Mnandi Iyapindwa. So what's nice about it is that it's a fusion of hip hop and poetry, and also there's going to be some sort of comedy within there, and also amatikita go as little as 100 Rand. And then on the 23rd of February at the Athenaeum, which is in Central, Upper Epai, and also on the 1st of March at Mendy Arts Center, the Mbaf Festival will be happening, and Kenake Izabe Ificharisha Endi Dlazilwana, and it's basically in Klombe, the ancestral ceremony that will be happening, and also Napayana Amatikiti. Just go as little as 100 Rand. It's definitely going to be nice. I hope you guys are going to come out in numbers and support the Mbaf Festival. And yes, now if you do have your own events where you would like us to come and cover, and also to give people information about them right here on our favorite segment, which is the Geek Guide. All you have to do is to simply contact us on social media. It is at Mpumakapa TV, and just like that, neyakho content ingalapha on our station. But okwangoku into endizawuyenza is I'm going to take you guys to a quick short ad break and just kendithi kokamandla, and then I'm going to come back. So please make sure that you guys are definitely stay tuned because sobuya ngongoko. Welcome back everyone from the ad break, and yes, right now I hope you guys nihleli just for masivale yonke lento sikunye. And yes, right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do check-ins with you at home, and also tell you exactly how you get to win our double tickets for the cricket 20. So please make sure that you guys listen attentively so that you can be the next lucky winner for our show right here on the Hangout. And yes, lovely people at home, we do have some comments for you today that are going to be going through. So we've got Upinki and Utisisi, can you please help a girl out with fashion business? And yes, I believe that Kenake Uteta no Sisiki, and I'm sure that she's listening and she might help you out there. And then Ubaba Uti, when will you guys put me on the Hangout? Man, come on. We have been saying our social media platforms, it is at Mpumakapa TV, and also our email, it is info@mpumakapatv.co.za. Drop us those proposals. This is a new year. Drop us proposals. Show us that you are really serious and you really want to do this thing. And also, if you don't have an email or you don't have the data, we do have a social platform, which is WhatsApp. It is 0836900530. And lula nje kanjalo nawe ungasifumana ulapha. And then there is also another comment that is coming right through, and it's definitely coming from, why am I out of breath? It's coming from Uvusi. Uvusi, I am happy to see Siki on the show. I hope you also got to learn and also take notes for yourself and also for your own future. And then someone else says, yo, Chomi, I need healing. Yo, I'm going to use your album to heal me. I believe that I hope you guys are definitely going to stream him out and check out a business yake, which is Upop. And then Unosi Uti, I've been wanting to see Udlangamandla for the longest time on the Hangout. You go King. Well, beautiful people, that was definitely lovely to see your comments zenu and also engagement yenu payaleke kumakasi etu onxibelelwano. And amakasi etu onxibelelwano, I'm going to repeat them. Facebook, it is at Mpumakapa TV. TikTok at Mpumakapa TV, Instagram at Mpumakapa TV. Our WhatsApp line, it is 083 690 and also our email, it is info@mpumakapatv.co.za. Simply like that, right? And yes, Kibetunana, it was very nice to be with you, and also coming on to how can you get to win a matikiti for the cricket 20 that is going to be playing for the coming Wednesday, this coming Wednesday. So we do have a poster up on our social media platform, Facebook and Instagram, where we're asking you a question related to the game. All you have to do is to simply just answer that question, and you can be the lucky winner. Just engage. See, very generous. Would you like, you know what, just engage. We're not even asking you guys difficult questions. So you can do that, and you can win yourself double ticket. And you take your friends, you take your partners to go out and see the cricket 20. I heard about last Sunday, which was tomorrow. It was beautiful. So I hope you guys are definitely going to enjoy that one. And yes, Kimnage, diyafumaneka naku social media, elam igama on social media. It is Mklenhle underscore and that will be Instagram and TikTok, Mklenhle underscore and yes, ke umamgwevu, all she has to do right now is to say thank you guys for tuning in, and also take care. Goodbye. See you Wednesday.